This is the Tigers Postcast, your instant game reaction for the Detroit Tigers. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Woof. It had been a while since we'd seen a performance like that from the Detroit Tigers. Credit the Texas Rangers. They hit the ball all over the yard, including 4 out of the yard in a blowout win over the Tigers. 10-3, the final in this one. We got a live Locked On Tigers postcast coming for you anyways. Welcome, and my name is Jake Riepma. You can follow me on Twitter at Jake_Riepma. And Jack Flaherty, worst start of the season. We'll break it down. And this Rangers offense that has, and still I do believe, is one of the worst in all of baseball, just randomly came alive on a beautiful Saturday night at Comerica Park. Tarek Skubal bobblehead day as well. And we'll look ahead to the series finale tomorrow, which will now be the rubber match of a 3-game set. Of course, I'll have my talking point, turning point, and player of the game in this one. So buckle up, come along. And even though the Detroit Tigers weren't victorious this evening, we'll have ourselves a whale of a Locked On Tigers postcast. As always, thanks so much for tuning in to the Locked On Tigers post-game show, your post-game destination for all things Detroit Tigers, free and available wherever you get your podcasts, and of course on YouTube, free and available. I already said that. What are we doing here? Your team each and every day. As always, we'll take your comments as well. And for the love of everything holy, the internet's going to stick together and absolutely going to come through with the show without any internet interruptions here. So fingers crossed for that one. Knock on wood, whatever it is. What was that? John Gruden that would always say, knock on wood if you're with me. I love it. I love it. But just kind of a bummer this evening at Comerica Park, which, by the way, it was absolutely picturesque. If anybody was at the game, please let me know, because my grandparents were down at the stadium, said it was just a packed house, long line to get the Tarek Skubal bobblehead. Although I did, and I shout out to my guy, Tony Paul, a good friend of mine who covers the Tigers for the Detroit News. When you have a bobblehead day like this, and the exact moment everybody gets their bobbleheads, you go on eBay and you see all of these listings for $200 bobbleheads. That's a little bit perturbing. I mean, come on, Tigers fans, we are better than that. I understand you want to make some cash, but I that gives me a bad taste in my mouth. But that said, it's probably just because I'm a bobblehead enthusiast, as you can see behind me if you're watching on YouTube. But if you're listening to the audio only version, in the studio here, we've got tons of bobbleheads on display, including my favorite, which you can see it's the largest of them all. It's the Jim Leyland big head bobblehead. I got a Riley Greene one diving underneath that, a Kerry Carpenter one that was recently gifted to me from my grandmother, which, by the way, if anybody goes to the game and they want to send a Tarek Skubal bobblehead my way, I'll be sure to give you a huge shout out on the show. But comments to take here, and that being said, this Tigers offense, not great. Hit into a lot of double plays. It was one of those nights they struck out 13 times, and Jacob DeGrom is going to do that. He's going to do that to you, an absolute bona fide ace in Major League Baseball, one of the best of the best. You give him props. And maybe that's too simplistic of a way of looking at this, but I chalk this up as one of 162 games, and it was a really good pitching matchup in the sense that you've got two hard throwing guys on the bump in Flaherty and DeGrom, and unfortunately the Rangers just really ambushed Jack Flaherty to the tune of the 4 home runs. Jock Peterson even hit a home run. It was his first of the season. He has kind of been largely a disappointment for the Rangers in their offseason acquisition, but he hit a 2-run homer in the 3rd. But credit to him. I mean, that was his 900th career hit for Jock Peterson. But that's where we begin, and let's go ahead and make it our talking about segment, because the Rangers just came out ready to hit.
This is what you'll be talking about.
I mean, first batter of the game was somewhat of an indication. You got Josh Smith going yard, and then Corey Seager goes yard in the first as well. A 403-foot home run to right center, and just jumping all over Jack Flaherty, who, again, very surprising to see him give up that many home runs. But you got Jock Peterson going yard off Jack Flaherty. You got Corey Seager hitting his 6th home run of the season, and also in the 7th inning as well. So he hit a couple of them, and then Josh Smith as well I'm forgetting Evan Carter as well, and he goes yard for the Texas Rangers. So to see the Rangers get as many home runs as they did was very surprising. As I mentioned, it's one of the worst offenses in all of baseball. In fact, they've been shut out 4 times this year. They've had games in which they were shut out and didn't register an extra base hit multiple times this season. So this was a surprise. There's no doubt about it, but it's what we'll be talking about. All right, your comments, and we begin with Demetrius McNeil. Shout out to the real of the real. 13 strikeouts, 3 double plays. Definitely not the Tigers' night. Joel Jackson says, what has happened to Flaherty lately? He hasn't been doing the best. Yeah, I'm starting to get to the not concerned, but at least aware of Flaherty's struggles. And struggles is maybe a little bit too dramatic, but just the fact that he hasn't been as sharp and he hasn't been his normal self his last couple of times out. And it can sometimes be overshadowed when a team is playing really good, when the rest of the rotation has been really good. And, you get the rest of the starters that are stepping up in his absence of the type of success that we've seen him have. And I'm not ready to sound the alarm by any means, but I think just being aware of, and maybe even not even just aware of, but hopeful for what he can do his next time out as kind of a bounce back opportunity for the Detroit Tigers and their starting rotation. Jimmy Card Collector says something is wrong with Flaherty. I don't know if I can get there quite yet. Maybe something is starting to build, and we'll see if anything comes out. But I think it's just a case of a tough night. And I always joke with people every now and then, even though a team might be bad statistically, like the Rangers offense in this case, I don't think the Rangers are a bad team by any means. I think they've just struggled a little bit out of the gates offensively, but these guys are professionals too. They drive Mercedes, they drive Lamborghinis, whatever it is. And they're really good at hitting the baseball. And sometimes it's just not your night, and you can chalk it up to exactly that. But let's take a quick break. We got to keep the lights on here at Locked On, and of course the Locked On Tigers postcast. So don't go anywhere. We're going to wrap this one up with a look ahead at tomorrow's rubber match, the pitching matchup in that one, as well as our turning point and player of the game. It's all next on a live Locked On Tigers postcast. Hey, this episode of the Locked On Tigers postcast is brought to you by our friends at Trade Coffee. Let's be real. Coffee isn't just a drink. It's a ritual, a lifeline, the things that get you from half asleep to fully functioning. And if that's that essential, then why settle for anything less than amazing? That's where Trade Coffee comes in. Trade Coffee is the #1 coffee destination in the United States, delivering fresh, incredible coffee from over 50 of the country's top roasters. Whether you're a cold brew fan or a pour over purist, they've got a roast you'll absolutely love. I'm a pour over guy myself, so I love the pour over in the morning, part of my routine, getting ready to go in the morning. And yes, it is an essential lifeline. And the coffee that I was able to try was fresh, smelled amazing, and honestly, it ruined grocery store coffee for me in the best of ways, because I now know what else is out there. Right now, Trade is exclusively offering our customers 50% off your 1-month trial at drinktrade.com/lockedonmlb. That's drinktrade.com/lockedonmlb. Trade being trade.com/lockedonmlb for 50% off your 1-month trial. Drinktrade.com/lockedonmlb. This episode of the Locked On Tigers postcast is also brought to you by the Amazon Fire Stick TV. That's right. It's the Amazon Fire TV stick. Did you know your Fire TV is also an Xbox? Turn any TV into your gaming and entertainment hub with Fire TV Stick 4K devices. No console required. Just grab your paired controller, subscribe, or sign into Xbox Game Pass Ultimate with EA Play included, and you're ready to play. Dive into hundreds of premium titles from EA Sports, College Football 25 to Call of Duty Black Ops 6. Netflix as easily as you stream your favorite TV shows. It's gaming made simple, and it's all on your Fire TV. The latest technology for elevated playing with Wi-Fi 6/6E and auto low latency mode advanced technology. Fire TV Stick 4K delivers smoother, more responsive gameplay with lightning fast speeds. You need to stay competitive. So that being said, head over to Amazon.com/Fire TV Locked On to get started. Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscription and compatible controller required. Available on select devices, including Fire TV Stick 4K 2nd Gen, Fire TV Stick 4X Max, 4K Max 1st and 2nd Gen, and Fire TV Cube 3rd Gen. This episode of the Locked On Tigers postcast is also brought to you by our friends over at FanDuel. America's #1 sportsbook is FanDuel. And right now, the NBA playoffs are in full swing. Every night delivers highlight-worthy performances, major momentum shifts, and can't-miss moments. So whether it's a game-winning shot or a breakout player, there's never ever been a better time to get in on the action. FanDuel makes it easy to stay in the game before tip-off and live with player props, performance trends, and same-game parlays. Another day, another parlay. Fans have more ways than ever to play smart and win big. If you got a beat on which players are showing up in the biggest moments, well, get in on the action. And how could tracking their trends help you build your next best bet? Well, it keeps you ahead of the game. How could a $200 bonus bet in bets extend the excitement for your first $5 bet hits? Well, that's right, because right now, if you're new to FanDuel, it's the perfect time to sign up. Head over to FanDuel.com and place your first $5 bet. If it wins, you'll get $200 in bonus bets. Once again, head over to FanDuel.com. Your first $5 bet for new customers. If it wins, you'll get $200 in bonus bets. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the National Basketball Association. My goodness, absolutely love it. Fired up to be on the live Locked On Tigers postcast. Tigers drop a 10-3 contest to the Texas Rangers. Tigers now 26-14 and 14-4 at home. Still an incredible mark to begin the season at Comerica Park. Couple more comments. We've got Every Noodle commenting here. Good to see you, Every Noodle. I feel like you've been on a lot of Tigers postcasts from the beginning, back in the comments section. Captain Jack's ship is starting to sink. Well, I don't disagree with you. It might be taking on water. I don't know if it's starting to sink. The dude comments, Torque in the designated hitter spot, 0 for 3, not a good look. I know we're not going to win out, but that game was a hard watch. Yeah, it was. I'm not going to disagree with anybody that says that was a hard watch, but listen, yeah, and again, maybe that's not what anybody wants to hear right now, but I mean, I think it's a night where, yeah, this was a tough look for the Tigers. They've scored just 5 runs in the first 2 games of this series after boasting the 4th best offense in all of Major League Baseball up to that point. And so it is a little bit, we've gotten a little spoiled where when an off night happens, it's time to sound the alarm and panic. And I'm just not quite there yet. All right, let's get into our turning point and player of the game. We begin with the turning
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
I think, honestly, we could all feel the type of night it was going to be after just a few short innings. I mean, the Rangers jump on Jack Flaherty from the very beginning with home runs, the very first batter with Josh Smith, and then you get another home run in the first with Seager homering. And then I should have mentioned earlier, Kerry Carpenter and Riley Greene go yard, and then you get a little RBI ground out for Torres. That was set up by the Kerry Carpenter triple. So Carpenter really the only guy performing offensively aside from the Riley Greene home run, but 3 more hits for Kerry Carpenter in that leadoff spot. But again, you could just feel the way this game was going to be for the Texas Rangers based on the way they were hitting. All right, let's get into our player of the game.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
unfortunately, it has to belong to somebody in the Texas Rangers or sporting a Texas Rangers uniform, and it's got to be Corey Seager. I mean, the 3 runs batted in, 2 homers. The guy had a night, and he's an MVP caliber player, and he played like it tonight with the 3 hits, 3 RBI, 2 homers, and 3 runs scored for the designated hitter. Or no, he played shortstop tonight. So for the Texas Rangers there. So bummer of a Saturday night, especially on Tarek Skubal bobblehead in beautiful downtown Detroit in the Motor City. Hopefully the Tigers can bounce back in the series finale, the rubber match tomorrow afternoon. Looking forward to that one. It will be a Reese Olson and Nathan Eovaldi matchup. So good matchup there. And it'll be interesting to see how it all goes down. The Tigers in need of a rubber match series win. So make sure you join us for that first pitch, 1:40 Eastern time, and we'll be ready to bring you all the live post-game action. So thanks so much for tuning in. As always, it's a pleasure to be on the air with you. And unfortunately, the Tigers fall in this one. Jack Flaherty gets roughed up in a 10-3 final. Flaherty gets the loss. He's now 1-5. He goes just 3 innings, allowing the 5 earned runs. Jacob DeGrom gets his 3rd win of the season. He goes 5 innings and allows 2 earned runs on the 2 homers from Kerry Carpenter and Riley Greene. Thanks so much. As always, your comments are appreciated. And you know what? We will figure out a way for the Tigers to bounce back and continue to keep this first place pace up. One of the best records in all of baseball, best record in the American League, but a setback here tonight. Thanks so much for tuning in. Talk to you next time on Live Locked On Tigers Postcast. Jake Reitmo signing off.